G'day guys, if you're enjoying the MacPack Podcast half as much as we're enjoying bringing it to you, the best way that you can help us out is by passing it on to a friend.
That's right. Share a little clip or send them the full show and say, skip to this minute mark for the greatest laugh of your of your Friday. Brighten up their Friday by sending them a link to the MacPack.
Exactly right. G'day and welcome to the MacPack.
We're back.
My name's Shane McKenna, and to my left this week in order the biggest wannabe comedian, it's my little brother Joe. How are you, Joe boy?
Yes, I'm feeling a little bit nervous. We've got a real life comedian on the panel
We
now
do
today.
indeed. And to my right, coming in at 6'1", as he does each and every week, it's the baby brother of the pack, who we call Junior Boy. Junior Boy, how are you?
Thank you very much for calling me a real life comedian, Joey.
We are obviously very excited about the man sitting to my direct left, the king of comedy himself, Mr. Luke Heggie. How are you, sir?
Pretty good. Thanks for having me.
Mate, we're very excited to have you on board today. We've got a big show planned.
Yes, sir. Joey and I have got a game.
Yeah, it's a game that we're not actually... I've never heard the game before, so I'm intrigued to see how that goes. Plus, we're going to be chatting about Luke's life in comedy, any tips and tricks, and I'm sure plenty of the funny stories that come up along the way.
That's right.
All right.
We've been big fans of you for a long time, Luke. We'll get into that first. You're listening to the MacPack. Let's get into it. Boys.
Brother Mingos.
How are we all? Are we all well?
We're good. We're pumped to be here. We got Luke Heggie on the pod.
We do indeed. We're in the kitchen. I think Luke's a little bit impressed. We've been quite mellow. We've been here for 40 minutes and we've been like quite low energy.
Setting everything up.
Yeah.
We did warn you. When
No,
it's
yeah,
the
it's
mics
good.
come on, it's
great.
like it's a different beast.
Yeah, you're
The
on.
show begins.
Yeah, this is the showbiz side.
Yeah. We are very excited to have Luke Heggie joining us on the podcast.
I'm just happy to reconnect with the youth.
This
Yeah,
is community hours for you.
Yeah, Riley's 21. Is that the youngest person you've ever been interviewed by?
I'd say so. Yeah. I don't know.
You know, you
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
By a fair way, actually. Yeah. I don't know.
Youngest person you would have ever had in your kitchen?
Whatever.
Maybe not when you were 20.
Probably not.
Over the last 6 months, maybe. Our love of Luke stems from a long time ago,
Yes.
doesn't it, Joey?
Many a year ago.
Nearly 10 years.
Yeah.
How do you even know who I am? Like, I don't know. I've never met blokes in their 20s who, unless they want to be comedians.
Yeah,
Just
okay.
you want to be a comedian. Did you mention that earlier?
Me and Joe have given it a crack.
Oh,
Yeah, we've done...
I knew it.
Yeah, November last year we did our first... It was just a tight 3.
Yeah, at an open mic night.
Yeah, it was for the WA Comedy. We know one of the guys who runs that, and he was like, we've done some promotion stuff
Yeah.
for them. They're like, you guys want to give it a crack? So we did. So it was a little competition.
Like the headlining show you've been doing where you're here. We're doing like the shit kickers one.
Oh, yeah, for Ronan.
yeah, for
Yeah,
Rhoda.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
right.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
The boys did very well. Surprised everyone, probably mostly me, of all people.
Did you kick on, or that was the only gig? That was it.
That was it. So we just did 3 minutes. We've been working on expanding it.
Yeah.
But it was, Ryan was like, come down in 4 weeks if you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we wrote vigorously for 4 weeks.
To get
Yeah.
3
Um,
minutes.
yeah, I thought it went well.
The audience laughed.
Were you on stage at the same time?
No.
No.
Ah.
We did a ventriloquist kind of thing.
That's all right. Maybe that's in store for the future.
But yeah, we've been big fans of comedy since we were growing up. So
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, huge. We've been very much a part of the festival as fans for a long time.
Yeah.
I vividly remember, it would have been 2015.
I think so, yeah.
We would have gone and seen you.
Yeah, all right. That was about the first time I came here, I would
Yeah,
think.
I think so because we were in. I hope when I say this, you remember.
Was it at a bowls
the
club?
event?
No,
No,
of
it was
course.
at. It was at
It was
the
at
State,
State
Theatre,
Theatre.
but we were actually sitting in basically like a big circus tent.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that
And
one.
And it
pissed
rained.
down
Rained
with
real
rain.
hard.
Yeah.
It rained so hard to the point
God.
where I think you were playing a ukulele at the time.
Yeah, mandolin.
Yes, that's right. And the rain was so loud that you paused during one of the songs and was just like, I'm so sorry, can anyone even hear what I'm doing?
Yeah. That was, pretty wild. It's a good show. I think
It was a good
It was
show.
a
Yeah.
great show.
Went all right.
Fantastic show.
Good.
Even the people getting wet enjoyed it.
because there was cracks in the room. But yeah,
There's a woman who fell through the chair. Was that night? She fell through the bleachers because it's pretty.
Yeah.
It's like carny stuff. It's not for comedy. It's for circus clowns. And she fell backwards through. I don't know. Middle of the show.
No, I must
Big laugh.
must have missed it. Biggest laugh of the crew.
She stole the show. A bit.
She comes back every night.
Yeah, I'll pay an extra.
That's so funny. Did you do any work around that when she fell through?
Was it mid-show?
No, I just had a laugh. Yeah.
You did mention it.
Fuck, what are you doing? Like, yeah, she falling through. she was laughing and fell back and fell through the thing. In the back of your mind, you're like, wow, maybe, what if she died? That'd be like someone died laughing.
Yeah. Put that on
On the poster.
Yeah, every poster moving forward. Once killed a man purely.
I had someone have an asthma attack once. And this, it's very uncommon, but in Canberra, yeah, ambulance and stuff.
Yeah,
I
right.
had to leave.
At your
It's
show.
like, man, yeah.
Wow.
It's like, man, he could have just taken it a bit further
Yeah.
Bucket list item.
and killing people. I've always wanted to kill someone without putting in the work to be a...
Just passively doing it.
I don't like digging. You know?
So it was during your set that someone was laughing so much they had an asthma
I
attack.
mean, this sounds really conceited. It's happened twice in 15 minutes.
Yeah,
Like,
that's still more than most.
Yeah, right.
Was it the same guy?
Every other night, no one's ever laughed at me. It's just those 2 times. That's what I remember. The 2 good nights.
I do love when we went to the circus tent.
Yeah.
I think you brought it up with me earlier this week when we were chatting with Luke. And on our way out, Luke was kind enough to stand at the exit of the tent. You were too young. You would have been like fucking 6. And you were literally apologising to people for coming. You were like, I'm so sorry. It's like piss down.
Yeah.
And everyone in the room had, I reckon, the best night
Yeah,
possible. Because you can't, like, you'll never get to replicate that. Ever again.
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
Yeah, righto. Oh, that's good to know.
That's
And the-
fantastic.
The
first time I saw you was like my second ever stand-up show I've ever been to, and it was at what was it called, Joey?
Hamilton Hill Memorial Hall.
That's
Yes.
right.
Oh, a couple of years ago?
Yeah.
Was
it
it
full?
5-ish years ago?
2018?
Yeah, right. It's
Yeah.
full show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
still a show.
Yeah, okay.
But we got there and I didn't get let in because I was obviously like 15 years old. And the bounce of it was the first time I've ever been denied entry
Yeah, wow.
to a licensed venue. But
You
then,
shouldn't be. That should be fine. Were you with an adult? You just
Well,
don't
he's
do
with
it.
He's with
us,
us.
Yeah.
But Jake was
That's-
only, how old were you then?
21, 22?
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, exactly. I think we did end
He
up...
ended up, yeah.
We ended up
getting
fighting it, and we were like, I don't know what's going on. We actually
Yeah.
thought that maybe someone inside might have had a word to the security.
No.
Like, why is there a young kid?
in here.
I get people sometimes like contact me and say, "Can I bring my 13-year-old?" I go, yeah, sure. As long as they know what's going on.
Yeah.
Like it's fine.
Yeah,
It's comedy. It's not drinking at a bar.
Yeah,
Who
exactly.
cares?
Exactly.
Although Riley did get hammered that night.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, no, it was a great night.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, righto.
So how did you get into comedy itself?
Oh, I don't know. Just something to do. I thought it'd just be something I did once, and that's it.
Yeah.
Just signed up, did it, went well, kept going. That's it.
Do you remember the material you did your first time?
No, but there's a recording. I think I couldn't do it, but there's a recording.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's...
Was it good?
I'm not proud of it, but it's there somewhere. It's online. My mate's got it. It went really well.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I wouldn't have done a second one. I still don't understand those mentals who go back
Yeah.
for a second time if the first one was shit.
Yeah, right.
It'd be like taking a Class A drug and it's bad timing. I'll try it again. Like, obviously, it's got to be good. Otherwise, you know,
People seem to like it.
Yeah. That's great. But what were you doing before the stand-up? Like, what were you doing in life before you?
I mean,
decided?
I've had probably 80 jobs, I reckon, throughout my life. Just
80 jobs.
I've never really
How old are you?
settled into anything. 50.
Yeah, that's
That's like almost one every 2 years.
Yeah, if you started at 0. Yeah.
There's well more than that because I've been doing this since I was 35, and I've been labouring a lot since I did comedy. But pre that, just whatever. I was a deckhand, barman, building sort of stuff, whatever. I don't really care.
Yeah.
As long as money's coming in. Just never settled into anything.
Yeah.
Like I studied and I've started working. I was a teacher at university for a bit.
Yeah.
Didn't like it. Left. Went overseas. Did all those jobs. I don't know. Gradually got worse. I had a good education. And I did a degree, did an honours degree. I was thinking about doing a PhD, and just gradually after that, just became low class. I got given everything. I was fuck. I'll go and lift heavy stuff or something. I don't care. Because if you don't like offices, it's a shit life. But it's not I dread it. Like if I when I get aged out of comedy, I will not go to an office. I'd rather probably go to a building site and die early, because I just can't. I wouldn't want to do it. I've done it and it sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't for the people who like it, but I couldn't go back.
What was how long did you do it for?
Office work.
Yeah.
I've only had a few little ones here and there, a couple of marketing jobs and like TV studio offices and stuff.
Yeah.
You just expect it to be at your desk, and it's 3 p.m. You're like, oh, this morning I usually have my nap. And then
just flat about missing that.
I had a job. I used to sleep in the stationery, not the cupboard. It was like a little room, and they're full of stationery. I just can't sleep there. But I'd spill some staples or something on the ground, sleep next to that. And if someone came in, you're kind of pretending you're picking them up.
So you're on your back.
Not on my back. I'd sleep on my side sort of thing. And then
You're in pajamas.
you're on your knees real quick, pretending you're picking shit
That's
up.
so strategical. I like it.
That's so funny.
Cubicles too. You put like a jacket or a hoodie or something against. If it's a small one, you sit on the closed toilet, head on the floor. You can sleep like that. Leave your jacket on your chair, and you can just walk out in a hurry, and it looks like you're still there.
Yeah, you're at a busy meeting or something.
Go and see a movie or something. I just never wanted to do it, and I've never been lazy, but I just hated it so much. I was trying to find ways to not do it.
Yeah, I think most people would disagree, and they'd think that the office job would be easier than labouring. But
It is, like physically, but it's not. I mean, I wouldn't do it here. This is 40 plus degrees.
Yeah.
I don't know how people do it in Perth, but it's certainly not easy, but it's better for your head, I think.
That's fair.
Good day's work.
And so when you went from one office job to surely after the one office job, you go, I fucking hate this office job. But then you went to another office job.
Yeah, I just took whatever I could get until there was something else. And then I had kids, you don't really have a choice. Yeah. Like, we got fucking $400 and I need a job. You just get whatever you can.
So what's your CV look like? It's like the Bible. Just flicking through it.
I haven't had one. I'm hoping to never have to use one ever again, but I haven't had one for 20 years.
Yeah, cool.
Just sort of talk and get a job and that's it. I don't know.
Sick.
I think CVs are... You wouldn't have CVs, would you? Like, it's gone.
Yeah, no, you do a CV,
you
and then jobs still ask for like a cover letter.
Yeah.
Which you just get the AI to write the entire thing for. So I don't know why they're asking.
It's always
for
exciting when you go to a job interview and then they start reading the CV back to you and you're learning at the same time as they are. Like what you're certified to do.
Yeah,
Shit, that's exciting. Sitting there as though they're talking about someone else. And you're like, oh, this guy sounds fucking interesting. Like, it's you. Oh, yeah, true. That's a good point. That's a good point. So how long have you been doing just purely stand-up now? Because there was a period where you were working still.
Probably only a couple of years.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe, about 2022 or I don't know, 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, cool.
Haven't had to swing a hammer, but I've got a podcast and that sort of tipped that over.
Yeah, cool.
That started making a bit of money and replaced the labouring.
Yeah, unreal.
Which is good. It's like 2 days a week instead of 5 work. And in an office, unfortunately, well, just sitting down at a desk. But it's better than someone else's shit office work.
Yeah, that's fair.
And so, with your writing, obviously your style of comedy is very kind of like naturalistic. In terms of your writing, are you like drafting it out exactly to the word?
Yeah, pretty much. As time's gone on, I've gotten worse at that. I'll agonise over a sentence like a fucking idiot. I should just forget about it and see what happens. But I get a bit obsessive with that. But last year I put a book out of a few shows, like transcribed stand-up and illustrated. And reading it back, you go, fuck, something's wrong. It's really annoying when you see something wrong, or not typos necessarily, just shit that you could have done better. So since that went out, maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago, or finished that, I was like, I've got to write better and get it all that it makes sense to read and say. But I shouldn't agonise over it, just do it.
Yeah, because obviously that's like part of the skill and stuff. It's like when we were talking about it here and I was like, based on like seeing you, it sounds like you're just sort of coming up with it. It's so like natural and stuff. Like it's very intricate. But I was like, I found it hard to sort of imagine you like, doing exactly that, like being like, oh shit.
No, I do, because a lot of it relies on the words being in the right spot. If you're sneaking up with something or a punchline, you can't fuck it up. You ruin the previous minute if you get the...
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I do. Some people... I mean, I don't have likability to trade on, so it's got to be just right.
Jokes need to actually be good.
Yeah. And I think I don't have, put on a voice or anything. It's just the same. But after doing your actual show that you've memorised many times, it becomes a bit like... I'll do it 100 times in a year. I'm so fucking sick of it. by the end. You kind of not acting, but nearly, just to try and make it. Like people don't think he must have said this 100 times. It doesn't really enter their subconscious. But then, you got to make it sound like it's fresh.
Yeah. I always wondered that, like, if you're obviously doing the same show, like, is it hard in the like headspace of being like, oh, I'm doing this bit again, like I'm at minute 45.
Yeah. During the show, you got to, like, during, say, Melbourne Comedy Festival or something, I do 40 odd shows, and towards the end, you're thinking about what you've got to pick up at the shop.
Yeah.
Fuck, snap out of it, man. Yeah. But then, if it went badly, you would. But it's just sort of...
Yeah, it would pull you back.
But it's a bad thing to be on autopilot. If I got a joke that involves a number or something, I'll change the number every night just to make... if it's not relevant to the joke.
Yeah.
Like, change a date or a number or a month or whatever, just so...
Feels
Just
fresh.
to keep
Just so there's something for you.
I get a kick out of it.
Otherwise, Luke will fall asleep.
Yeah.
He's waiting for the number 87 to come up.
But people don't really think about it, and I wouldn't have either if I wasn't in comedy. But people come up and say things like, "Oh, I might bring some friends tomorrow night. Will it be a completely different show?" Yeah, man, that's 10,000 fucking words. I'm not going to write that and remember it in a day. That's insane. It takes a year. So I don't know.
There you go.
I can.
Do you do a lot of crowd work?
If you're enjoying this week's episode of the podcast, the best thing that you can do to show us a little bit of support is to share it with your mates. Whether it's a story on Instagram, a private message to a pal,
A DM.
slide into those DMs, do whatever you need be, or even just like message your mum and be like, these guys, they swear a lot, but like
I prefer Gmail as well.
Gmail's good.
Gmail's good.
It's slow, like it's a very slow and formal
work.
I
way.
click on any link I get in my Gmail.
Yeah, nice, fair enough. So yeah, chuck it on your Instagram story or send it to a mate. But whatever you do, we just want to grow this little baby pack.
Fantastic. And then every week you can chatter about the pack with your pack.
There you go. Exactly.
I don't think you've done much when we were there. None.
No.
What's the worst thing you've been heckled with at a show other than an Aspen attack?
I don't really invite hecklers. I hate them.
Does
Yeah.
anyone invite them though? This is sort of
Yeah. Like the modern, like a lot of people, that's their whole thing. It's become it's like a separate sport, pretty much. Crowd work.
Yeah.
Some people do a full hour crowd work.
Yeah.
They're good at it. It's not for me. But it's like, and that's spawned like a bunch of people going to a show thinking, I'm going to be part of this. And they sit down and just yell something out. No, it's not that kind of show, dickhead.
Yeah.
Go and ask someone else to call you fat. Like, I don't know. It's this comedian destroys heckler thing. It's become a real beast of its own.
Yeah.
And do you, as a comedian who prefers to write all their material, have a more respect for someone, or not respect, but like, do you find it crazy that they can do that, or do you think there's more art in writing?
I think it depends how they're doing it. There's different styles of doing it. Some of it's really cruel.
Yeah.
I don't really like that much. Like some audience want it,
Yeah.
and once like if you get hugely popular off that, then people expect that.
Yeah.
Some doing full hours online of this, and it's huge. Like millions of people watching. That's crazy. Like and they couldn't love it more. But I think everyone's so fucking self-centered. They want it to be about them.
Yeah.
How can you possibly go to a stadium and listen to some dude just talking in the front row and walk out happy? That's crazy. It's not
great.
I
There's a
don't
reason
know.
he
I
doesn't
can't
have
get
a
my head
mic.
around it.
Yeah, I think a lot online people, they'll post the crowd work stuff because then it like doesn't spoil their material.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I think that's how it originally started. But now
But then it's just like that's what
I'm
is
really good at that,
popular,
I just
so
can do
that's
that.
what I do. Yeah.
Yeah. And people turn up and see their material and go, this is actually shit. Like
Yeah,
they'll get
yeah,
people
yeah.
come live once, so they have to do the crowd work thing. It's an MC job, but it's just sort of, spread out to an hour now.
And how do you shut down hecklers if they have a crack at you, or do you just ignore them?
I try to just let the crowd take care of it because I've got enough. I haven't got a huge fan base or anything, but mine are quite loyal.
Yeah.
And they want to listen. They tell someone to shut up.
Yeah.
Usually, I don't have to do it, but it doesn't happen that often. The worst are like people in groups just talking or something.
Oh, okay.
I don't really get people going, fuck you. Like it doesn't happen that much.
Yeah,
a lot
yeah.
less than people think.
Yeah.
You're getting heckled.
And your stuff is so quick and dry that it's like by the time the hecklers had an idea, you're on to the next thing. So they're not even relevant. Like whatever they're yelling at is no longer relevant.
I mean, stopping's annoying. If
Yeah.
you've written it and want to deliver it in a certain way. It's just annoying that someone's like, all right.
Yeah, and you're trying to work out.
Let's fucking talk to you. What's happened? What's happened at home? Tell us all about it. It's really irritating.
Yeah.
But I think there's more and more people like that now who just, I don't know, they call it whatever they want, but they're like, I've got no filter. I've got to yell something out.
Yeah.
What never used to happen.
Yes, that's
It's become a really its own thing. Yeah. But then, I mean, MC's doing it. My mate Cam Knight is absolutely brilliant at crowd work, and he does it when he's doing an MC set, when he's doing a headliner set or his own show. Not really. He might do a minute off the top, just how you going,
Yeah.
And then, but he could easily do an hour of it, and it'd probably be really popular now. But he doesn't want to do that. He's too good. Like he's really good at both. But I don't know. I don't even like the crowds. I don't.
And you can buy tickets at to the empty room.
Comedy would be brilliant if it wasn't for the crowd.
Obviously, Luke, Joe, and I have been, showing our hand in our own stand-up comedy across the last couple of months.
Careers.
You both spoke for 3 minutes each. Like, we're making it sound
We
like
debuted.
a documentary.
And we're still on that high.
So you haven't been back for a second gig yet?
Not yet.
Why would they? They're bathing in the love of what they're currently doing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we've got to do it.
Yeah.
But it begs the question, we've seen a lot of comics over the journey, and there's one bit that you did which really stuck out to me. Where were we? It was
at the Perth Comedy Gala.
Yeah. There was like a bunch of
At Regal
comedians,
Theatre.
and everyone
Yeah.
did like 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
And you did a joke, which was essentially the exact same punchline multiple times in a row.
Oh, yes.
It was about police, and you kind of referred to police in a different name every single time.
Oh, right.
For example,
Yeah.
like oinkers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like, you did it for like almost what felt like a minute.
Yeah.
But the crowd, every single time you said the next line,
Yeah.
everyone was just dying, but it was the same joke.
Yeah,
I wanted
right.
to know how you structured that and had confidence in the fact that the same joke will hit the exact same every time.
It's rare I'd do something like that. I've probably got the thesaurus out, but there's a few like pejorative terms for police that aren't very common anymore. But if you say squiggly tails, everyone knows.
Yeah, screw with that.
That was one of them.
They all know what you mean.
It's
But it's like,
so out of the box. Like,
yeah,
I wouldn't even think
but
of
it was a joke about, fuck, I don't know. I'd been to the police station or something, and it was just referring to them that.
Yeah.
Like each time
Yeah,
the
every
sentence
time,
started,
yeah.
I was like, well, I was talking to one of the younger ones, more polite ones down at the hog pen. And then you just keep talking and then say squiggly tails or the filth or whatever. It's just better than just telling a story with no... Like anything you can add in to your sentences to make it funnier, I'm doing it. If
just
I
a bit
can.
of seasoning.
Yeah, pretty
cool.
much, yeah.
There you go.
You want to pepper it with funny stuff. In the setup, you want that to be as funny as possible.
Yeah.
Slightly less funny than the punchline, hopefully, but whatever.
When we wrote ours, we both sort of had like an idea for a story, wrote that out, and then went through and like every line we were like, how can this be either a setup or a punchline? Is that similar to how you write stuff, or do you come up more with like
Premises and ideas? I mean, when I start writing for a new show, it's a lot of premise stuff, a lot of lines I got in my phone, notes, and just written down of just one-liners and shit that need to fit somewhere, but you haven't got a joke for it. And then it's just pouring through hundreds of pages of shit to find the good stuff. Like that's all.
Yeah.
I haven't got a secret. It's just bum on the seat work.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty much premises first, and then, or if I don't have one. Like if I come up with a great thing that might be a good punchline or a good ending sentence to something, or a thought about a particular situation, you go fucking cool. You can build a 5-minute bit around that if it's good enough, and then start peppering that with stupid terms for police.
Yeah,
or whatever.
And how long does it take you to write like an hour? Would that
To
take
do
months?
it properly, 6 or 8 months.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And is that a constant process? Like once you finish one, you're on to the next
Yeah,
one?
it's relentless.
And so how much do you are you going to like open mics and that kind of like testing
All the
stuff
time.
out?
Probably from about July, just because of the schedule. Like the festivals are coming up now, like February, March to June.
Yeah.
So from about August, probably 4 nights a week, I'll go and do
Wow.
just shit little gigs,
Yeah.
like unpaid ones. It's like training, though.
Yeah,
Like, you know, and I don't think there's a lot of people doing that, but no one my age is doing that really. So but they don't have to. They're all famous and rich and shit. So they just come out and go, I'm here. Everyone goes, brilliant.
Yeah. Laugh.
All right. Take our money. Good. But I don't have the luxury. So the people who come to my show are fairly demanding, I think, which is fine. But that's my fault. But also, they come to a new show every year and they come back. I wish I had some fucking friends.
It's just the exact same crowd.
It's the same crowd, same number of people for the last probably 4 years. It's like, man, this could grow. Something could.
Everyone gets the same seat.
It's like a subscription.
Yeah.
And someone will bring their kids, but the dad's died or something, so they just
Got a spare seat. His dad decked it last year.
Do you still get nervous for shows now that you've done hundreds, probably thousands?
If I'm doing it like corporate, I don't do much corporate, but yeah, for them I am. It's awful.
What's
Is that like mining and stuff?
No, sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, because that's what we have
Rubbish.
here. A lot of people go out to like Rio Tinto and do gear
Unfortunately,
there.
they're the best paid ones. But I don't often do that. But in the city, you do like a Christmas party for a firm or something, and people hear my voice or think, or that I've worked on building sites, like, we're going to get 300 electricians. You're going to kill. You go in there, they fucking hate it. It's not for them. But I still do it because I need the cash. But yeah, I do get a little nervous for them. But like, not regular club gigs. I think I'm over it.
Yeah,
I don't care.
Not even.
And people are like, you don't want to follow such and such. He's great. I say, I don't give a shit. I'll just go out and die. I don't care.
Yeah.
Just take my medicine. It is like I feel like that. I think I'm writing this for me to get the bit better. I'm not going to go and do old shit at a free night to make sure I'm the best on or something. I don't care.
Yeah.
And you die a lot to get better.
Yeah,
that's
the
works.
purpose of it.
Yeah.
What's the worst night you've ever had?
Well, I don't know. I've never been bashed or anything.
I love that that's the benchmark. Like,
I wasn't expecting for you to be bashed.
What's actually?
Is that a common
I was expecting like a boo or something.
It's happened to people, but I don't think I'm that offensive. But I mean, it's actually good for their careers, I think, because everyone's filming everything now. Like you film.
Yeah.
I bet you filmed your sets, no? Did you film them? Watch them back?
Yeah, Jake.
I
Jake
filmed it
filmed
for
it,
it.
Yeah.
It's on my phone now.
But like, comedy nights now, shit pub ones, they've got 5 tripods and phones and shit at the back, and then they'll pack them up and run off to the next gig. Maybe you should watch some comedy or go home and write. Don't do, I don't know. But they're trying to catch that little bolt of lightning, crowd work or some shit, put it up. And, it's just a different generation probably to me. I wouldn't think to film myself doing stand-up. Unless it's like for a show.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go to a club or a pub and do that. It's mad. So, I mean, having said that, I've gone a bit off track. Like, worst gig, I couldn't tell you. Probably a corporate, like following I actually did a bit about it once. Years ago, I had to follow a bloke with no legs who did a motivational speech. Everyone's crying. Brilliant. Slideshow.
Yeah, well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Luke Heggie.
Literally, like 20 seconds after he's off me.
And your first
Terrible.
joke
You had
is...
to push him off? Or?
Yeah. Oh, no, he had prosthetic he's gone and won a medal at the Paralympics. It's a big, good story.
Okay.
But you need to go on before people like that.
That's more of a structural issue than
Yeah. Well, I did say when I got on, I was like, how about, I can't remember. How about him? What a story. Brilliant. As a support act, not very fucking funny. And that got nothing. So, man, another 29 and a half minutes to bury this.
And you just keep pushing on when everything's...
Yeah. In the back of my mind, it's like, you know what? I've got to get paid. I'm not,
And you get
I'm
paid
not
no
pulling
matter
out.
what, no matter how many giggles.
Oh, yeah. Well, you should. But I don't know. I've never not been paid, but it's still in the back of my mind. Because you need the money. Like, the money's much better than you can get as a actual comic in clubs.
Yeah.
So you're like, they told me not to say certain words or so. I'm not going to do that. Because that'll give them an excuse to not pay me.
Yeah.
Like, that's in the back of your head. They told me to do 25 minutes. I've only done 22. They probably won't notice. Fuck it. I'm doing the 25. Just in case someone says.
Yeah, right.
There's an excuse to not pay this bastard. Because invariably, I'm about a 2 out of 10. 2 gigs out of 10, it'll go well.
What I thought.
Oh, wait, 2 out of 10 would go well or bad?
Well,
Wait, when you're working on it? Or
No,
like the
corporate.
corporate.
Oh,
gig.
corporate. I was gonna say. I was like,
Even
Oh,
in
no.
general.
No, they go better.
we've been lucky with each other.
The most resilient comedian ever.
Oh, they've got thick skins, comedians. You'll see some who... I know some who I've never seen go well. Still there. What the fuck? They must have had one really good one. Because you go, how could you do that?
Lightning in a bottle.
After about 3 shit, I'm like, man, I should just quit. This is no good. I've lost it. I'm hopeless. I'm not doing it anymore. And then you have a good one.
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't have more than a few shit in a row. Unless there's something really wrong with the room you're going to or something.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not...
What do you find is like the biggest reason why something wouldn't be good outside of the corporates? Because it's just like a
Yeah.
bizarre audience to begin with. But if you're doing like club nights and, as you said, like you get, let's say, 2 or 3 rogue ones in a row,
Yeah.
can you put that down to anything? Or after the third one, are you like, what the fuck's going wrong?
I mean, it'd be nice to blame the audience, and I do. But sometimes I go and I'm out all the time. You go on like a Tuesday, Wednesday night, and there's no one my demographic there. It's young. It's people literally less than half my age and younger. They don't listen to their own dads. They're not going to listen to me. So of course they're going to go like shit. So you're just trying to. I'm not even chasing the laughs, and you just go, I've got to remember my new bit. And if you get one little laugh, you go, oh, all right, that's better than nothing. I don't know. Like, I come unstuck all the time for that.
Yeah, okay.
It's not my mob, but you don't really want them there anyway. Like, I'd rather, it's embarrassing. Like, people come to the Regal Theatre or something, see a good show, they don't want to see a few lunatics. You know, there's people who go to footy training or something, put their big fat guts up against a chain wire and watch training. It'd be like that. No good. You don't want them there.
So when you do like a work in progress show, and it goes, because obviously you're doing that to improve the material. But like, how would you go? Okay, that joke didn't work.
Yeah.
I'm going to completely change it. I'm going to get rid of it. Like, how are you deciding what to do? Or you
I
just
wouldn't
keep
do
trying
that
it?
off one outing, but if it fails 3 or 4 times, it's probably me. It could be a crowd, could be they just didn't get it or it spoke too fast or something like that. But always, I've got a lot more faith in the premises now, so just come home here or wherever I am, just work on it.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Like, right idea, but didn't say it the right way.
Yeah. Or need a stronger line at the end or whatever.
And what about like the process? Because you won Raw in 2010.
Yes.
So what process you would have had next to no experience prior to that? When you were writing stuff, how could you tell if it was good initially? You just had no concept.
No idea. Until you're doing it. Like, that went really well.
Yeah.
That couple of months. And then I wanted to quit. Like, after that, you go to Edinburgh.
Yeah.
And it was a terrible time.
Right.
Like, I was universally hated there for a month. It was awful.
Is that
Due to what?
culturally?
I was just new and a bit shit.
Yeah.
They didn't like. I was supporting the Nelson Twins, who I really like, from Melbourne. I was just doing 10 minutes top of their show every night, and I hardly got any laughs for a month.
Yeah.
I came back, just that's it then. See ya. Didn't do anything for a couple of months, I think. Then got asked to do a gig, did it, kept going.
Oh, no.
I don't know. It's not I haven't got an exact method.
Yeah.
Just doing it.
And how do you? Because your whole concept is very dry from the outset, and I think that's like a very. I reckon that'd be almost the toughest way to be a comedian is if you're so dry, just like doing observational stuff.
Yeah, like it's the material, not like,
The energy.
oh, now I'm selling it because I'm saying it in a funny way.
Yeah. I mean, I've grown to resent the people who scream and yell and stuff because they're not doing as much work as me.
Yeah.
I don't have a choice. 'Cause I'm not going out there with big personality screaming and yelling and carrying on. So that's a different thing.
Yeah.
So the joke's got to be good. But I quite like writing, so I've made that for myself, really. But it probably is one of the hardest you can do. I think like the classic one-liner guys who literally every joke is 10 to 15 seconds, to do 20 minutes, half an hour of that is excruciatingly hard. That is so hard.
Like, I used to watch Mitch Hedberg.
Yeah.
And it's just like insane. Like,
But I think if he came out now, it'd be great. But then the thirst for content would kill him. He only did maybe 1 hour ever of, I don't know, I'm not an expert. I don't imagine he had more than an hour of material across however long he worked. So it's a different thing now where you need more stuff, which I don't mind because I just write. But I couldn't do one-liners you can't. and audiences lose interest in it. Like after about 20 minutes of them, people are like, oh, all right, that's enough. I think they used to have more concentration span, but they just drift off after a while. So you got to keep them interested with something a bit more long or story-ish.
Yeah, cool. Do you have an old reliable joke or like your one that you know hits every single time?
If I've driven a gig into the ground, I can't do anything to get it back.
All right.
Like I just don't. If they don't like me, that's it. I could do my best joke at the end I've ever had, I think, or whatever, and it'd just die anyway.
Yeah.
So no, I don't have a reliable bit.
Well, that goes to show that it's not always the material then.
Yeah, probably.
Can't
But
say
then,
that.
yeah, if you hate someone and they say something funny, you might not laugh. Like if, you know,
That is true. What about for these two? They're obviously budding at young comedians with their 3 minutes each. What advice would you be giving to someone in their situation, in their position?
well, I do more than one gig every 3
Fair enough.
There's no substitute for the work. So get
Yeah.
out, do more gigs, and just work on your set.
Yeah.
Keep reading it, run it past mates, whatever. It's just the work. I don't know.
Yep.
I don't have a secret. Do the fucking job.
Do the
That's
job.
it.
Be
Yeah.
fun.
Unless it's an office job, then just sleep in the station.
Yeah.
Do whatever.
Alrighty, boys, very exciting indeed. You two have come up with a game. Most people who listen to the podcast would be aware that we like to play a game with the guest whenever we have a guest. We like to play games in general, but when we have a guest and we like to cater a game to that guest.
Yeah.
It's gonna be humiliating, isn't it? I can tell already.
I think for those two, maybe.
More for us. Yeah.
So every time we have a guest on, we like to have a pun, if you will. And we were trying to think of so many to rhyme with Luke or Heggie.
Yeah, what did we have initially? We
Yeah.
had
The lead.
Oh yeah, my original idea was a game called Puke or Eggy, and there would be 2 bowls, and you would put your hand in,
Oh my
and we would
goodness.
try and guess which one.
It's like scrambled egg or puke.
Which one was puke and which one was egg.
But if you'd eaten eggs and then spewed,
Both. Yeah.
So
Yeah, that one was vetoed.
we decided to go with one that was less disgusting things to touch, I guess. And we decided on Heggie or
Eggy or hogwash.
Yeah, that's it.
what does that mean?
You're about to find out. We're going to tell you a law, story, or
Slang.
and you've got to tell us whether or not it's Heggie or hogwash. More will be explained after this.
Heggy or hogwash, it's time to go. Let us see if they know. Heggy or hogwash, mate, I don't know. Is it fair income or a dodgy law, bro? Heggy or hogwash, I told you I don't know. Is it a fact or is it a fofo? Heggy or hogwash, take your best shot. Is it true or is it not?
Obviously, Heggie being the
the
Good.
truth.
Yeah, the truth. Good, authentic.
True, authentic, yeah.
Hogwash being hogwash. Being not real. And we're going to essentially tell you a story or give you a piece of slang and explain what it means.
Yep, or a law.
Yeah, or an Australian law, and you've got to tell us whether it's Heggie or hogwash.
Cool, and you, Jake and Luke are both playing.
Okay, so it's me versus Luke.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. How's this work? Are we buzzing in or are we just both having a ping?
You both have a ping.
Yep.
Okay, cool. I like
You
it.
can either, you're versing each other, but you can kind of...
You can also discuss.
Yeah, you can talk about it together.
Oh, cool.
Maybe you
Right.
could sway one another.
Let's just focus on that. Are we still playing the game or what's happening? Like it's early. Like it's 2:30. Luke's got places to be.
Okay, so the first one in Heggie or hogwash. In Western Australia, you can be fined thousands of dollars for possessing more than 50 kilograms of potatoes. Is it Heggie or is it hogwash?
50
Kilograms. Yep. If you got
This
50,
This can be one of those archaic laws that they haven't fixed up yet or something.
Could
and it's
be.
irrelevant and it wouldn't happen, but it's probably still the case. I'm going to go Heggie.
I'm going to say it's hogwash because that's like, I don't think Spudshed guy would have ever driven around with less than 50.
But he's a business.
Or is he allowed to be a business?
it just says under some circumstances.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Okay.
say-
I'm going Heggie.
I'm going to go hogwash.
It is Heggie.
Right.
So it's actually since it was repealed in 2021, but before that, anyone was prohibited from selling, delivering, purchasing, or taking deliveries of 50 kilograms or what appears to be 50 kilograms of potatoes, unless you remember of the Potato Corporation,
Right.
There you go.
There you go.
whatever that is.
This must be so. It's like an Irish thing from 200 years ago, no?
No, it was from Section 22 of the Marketing of Potatoes Act of 1946.
There you go. You got a pretty heavy marketing route, honours in marketing.
Yeah,
They didn't cover the Potato Act?
It's a bit stale. I didn't go through the potato acts. More trade practices. They didn't cover spuds.
So there you go. After one round, Heggie's on 1 and Jake's on 0.
Jake is on hogwash.
That's exactly right. Next up, we've got a piece of Australian slang, a saying, which you can tell me whether or not you think it's Heggie or hogwash. You're as good as a poo without paper. This saying means that you're completely useless or in a hopeless situation, just like being caught in the loo with no toilet paper. An example, mate, you said you'd help me move the couch, but you've just stood there. You're as good as a poo without paper.
Right. So you're saying, like, I mean, now that you've just said that, it is a saying. Like, it's obviously, but you mean
But
it's a
have
common?
Have
it's
I
a-
made
Yeah,
it up?
yeah.
Have
Have
I
you
made
made it
Have
up?
I just made all of that
Is
up?
that the first time we're hearing
Or
it?
is that like
I'm-
existent if you Googled it?
I'm saying hogwash.
Yeah, I'm going to go hogwash as well. Because there's better terms.
You're
To
as
say
good
that.
as a poo without paper is hogwash.
Yes.
So, we're away.
All right,
2 and 1.
2
That's
plus 1.
exactly right.
An Australian farmer once reported losing 30,000 pigs in a flood. Is that Heggie or hogwash?
Are all your questions agricultural?
He found his niche.
No.
He reported, so he's probably full of shit. He just reported it.
Reported, yeah.
A flood
yeah.
comes through. It's like killing someone when on 9/11. You say, I really want to kill this bloke. And there's a opportunist thing. He's got, I own 30,000 pigs. He probably didn't.
Yeah.
Insurance fraud.
So it's not necessarily that he owned 30,000 pigs, is it? It's bullshit. I think he has reported. I'm going Heggie.
Oh, okay.
What was it? I was completely confused.
An
now.
Australian farmer once reported losing 30,000 pigs in a flood.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I'll go Heggie as well.
That one is hogwash.
That's
So
huge.
it turns out to be a miscommunication. He had actually lost 30 sows and pigs. A sow is a female pig
Oh,
that
you
has
had
had
an
at
accent.
least one litter.
He rang it through on the
Yeah,
phone.
yeah, 30 sows and pigs.
That's a lot of
And
rain
then-
outside. They couldn't hear it.
And it was in the paper, but it was a miscommunication.
Right.
Okay.
The scores are currently still 2-1 to Luke. Number 4. In New South Wales, it is illegal for bus drivers to splash mud on pedestrians. You know, the old driving past after it's rained.
Nah, I'm going hogwash.
I mean, they do it.
Is
It doesn't
illegal?
mean they don't do it. I do it. It's brilliant. There's probably a law against that, but I still do it. To splash mud at all, I'm going to go, yes, Heggie.
So I'm hogwash, he's Heggie.
Okay.
So if I get this, it's a draw. Have we got a tiebreaker?
No.
What's this last question?
We,
No, there's one more. There's one
we
more.
don't need the tiebreaker anyway, because Heggie's got it right.
There you go.
That's right. A driver must slow down or stop the bus if necessary in order not to splash mud on any person
Give me
in
a
a bus
spell.
or leaving a bus. Passengers waiting at a bus or passengers waiting at a bus stop. The penalty is a fine that can reach $2,200.
Is this a new? Is this a new thing?
Not sure.
Is this in the woke world that we live in?
New South Wales.
This used to be a
I've
good
got an
pastime.
entire bus stop full of people. Like they're trapped in that little
In the thing, yeah.
the square. And you swear, it's fantastic. Like it's
one
not
of the
very
joys of
nice. I
life.
get it, but it is pretty good. If it happened to me, I'd laugh.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I was
Kids.
actually, I was walking and there was a big puddle and there's a car coming and I was like,
can
look,
see it.
I've set it up. But
Should know.
they swerved around.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I'd
Cowards.
You let them know about it. The score's currently a 3 to Luke, 1 to Jake. The game's over, but we'll play
We'll
for
do
a
the
bit
last
of fun.
one.
I like it.
The longest beer snake ever made was over 150 meters long. Heggie or hogwash?
150 meters.
Longer than.
Yeah.
Or 150 minutes.
Over.
That's the longest, over 150. I'll go Heggie.
It's like a whole. Like,
This will be at Perth Cricket Ground.
Yeah,
sort
I'll
of
go Heggie
thing.
as well. This would be at the Wacker in like 1960, wasn't it?
So it was actually at the SCG, but it beat the Wacker record. It was during a rain delay that went for 2 hours in the Australia versus Sri Lanka one-day match.
Unreal.
And yeah, it was reported to be about 175 meters long.
Wow.
That's
a
next
lot
level.
of people holding it.
Yeah, it was it was through the
One
crowd.
bloke.
Yeah,
Yeah.
planes were dodging. I love it. That was it.
Did you say how much money that would equate to?
Oh no, that was a different one. That was
Ah.
that one. There was one. It said it was 275 cups, which would have been over like $3 grand.
You need way more than that to get that long, I reckon.
Yeah,
It would've been
I think that was
thousands of
one guy
dollars.
did that one.
Oh, okay. That's pretty
Which I don't
impressive.
know. Yeah, that was in Adelaide.
There
but
you
who
go. So
cares?
Heggie wins, Heggie or hogwash.
Oh, yeah. I feel humbled and blessed.
Go out on the song. Is that deliberate?
Heggie or hogwash, it's time to go. Let us see if they know. Heggie or hogwash, mate, I don't know. Is it fair dinkum or a dodgy law, bro? Heggie or hogwash, I told you I don't know. Is it a fact or is it a fofo? Heggie or hogwash, take your best shot. Is it true or is it not?
Righty, boys, it's time for our favourite weekly segment. It's time for our Everyday Hero. Now, obviously, when we have a guest on the podcast, we're fortunate enough to have Luke here today. We often ask them to bring a everyday hero to the show.
Yeah.
Do you have anything that would
I do.
spring to mind?
Like an unnamed hero.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know who it is.
No,
but
that's
all right.
I don't think we've ever really, very, very rarely would we even have named someone.
yeah.
them nameless.
I mean, they're unsung anyway. Heroes, aren't
Yeah.
They shouldn't be. You shouldn't know who they are
Exactly
if they're
right.
just good people. I had a bloke recently just come up after a gig and just gave me $50.
Oh, right.
Like I was selling merch, and I'm like, "Oh, you want a book? You want some pencils, whatever?" No, it's fucking. And he wasn't like
tip?
Yeah, I mean, you can't tell who's rich and who's not now, but he didn't come across as a rich bloke.
Right.
Just a dude who's like, "Oh, great."
And he
you
would have
know,
paid
here
for
you
his
go.
ticket to see the
Yeah,
gig.
yep.
And he still went, fuck
Sick.
it.
That's rare, but it was pretty good.
Yeah,
And yeah, my hero.
absolutely.
I promptly went downstairs and spent it on beer. But,
That's all right. That's
That's great. Was there any sort of exchange of dialogue, or was it like a secret handshake where he tucked the
no, it
50?
Yeah.
wasn't. That'd be creepy. I'd feel like something. I owed him something.
Yeah,
No, he's just a good dude.
He's going to show up here later.
He didn't even want to chat or anything. He's just like, "Oh, thanks, man. Do you want something?" No, just like the show. There you go.
It's almost
Thanks,
as
mate.
if he didn't buy a ticket, accidentally
Yeah,
stumbled into the
Yeah,
building,
maybe.
sat down and was just like, I probably should have paid. I guess you have to pay at the door.
Even that's pretty nice. Most people just walk out
Yeah.
if they got a freebie.
Whereabouts was the gig?
It was in Sydney,
Yeah.
just a show I was doing.
Like in the
Just
pub
$50.
or...
No, it was a show, like
Yeah,
my
right.
show.
So you had to have had a ticket.
Yeah, you'd think so.
Yeah,
Unless he hid in the toilets all night the night before.
There's that ear up against the... I think he's doing good.
There was an opera matinee during the day.
There we go. We love it. That's a very nice hero.
That's great. Short, sharp, and sweet.
Absolutely. So if you were going to one of Luke's shows over the journey...
Yeah.
Flipping 50.
Pack a pineapple, because
Yeah.
it's much appreciated.
Alrighty, boys, that just about brings us to the end of another episode of the podcast. A very, very special episode of the podcast at that. We've obviously been huge fans of Luke's work for, I think, as we mentioned, 10 years.
Yeah, just about.
So, yeah, completely stoked to
Oh, thanks very much for
join us
having
on
me.
the show, mate. It's been fantastic.
Nice to know someone knows who I am.
Well, I think I found out about you via the Raw.
Oh, okay.
I remember you showed me a clip of him. And it was just like a 5-minute thing. And you were just like, look how dry this guy is. And
Yeah.
like, how funny, like just without him
Like
trying.
deserts aren't as dry as Luke Heggie. Like,
Yeah.
Like
That
no
are-
smiles. Like there's a lot of smiling going on during the pod. But when you're on stage, it's like not a crack.
Nah.
Yeah. Well, I wrote it. I've heard it.
Yeah.
At no point is he like, fuck, that was funny. No, we've loved having you on the show. And if you guys have enjoyed listening to Luke and you're keen to go and see him, he's doing stuff all over Australia. So he's obviously doing the Fringe stuff while he's in town in Perth at the moment.
Yes, sir.
Where are you heading to next, mate?
Going home for a bit. Adelaide Fringe Festival, start of March.
Yep.
Then Canberra Comedy Festival, Melbourne, all the major cities to start with, and then some regional stuff mid-year.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
Good stuff. I've got listed that you can see him in Adelaide, Canberra, Melbourne, Brisbane, Perth, Sydney. So basically, there's nowhere you can't.
Yeah. Yeah,
You go to
and
New
then after
Zealand?
that, I go, no. I've had terrible results over there. So I'm not going back. But yeah, probably about 20 or 30 different regional dates after that too.
Fantastic.
So,
Cool.
Wow.
all over.
And what about the podcast that you do with Nick Cody?
Podcast. I mean, I haven't explained. It's a podcast about plane rage.
Yes.
New incident each week, out every Thursday, called Mid-Flight Brawl.
Yes.
Pretty good.
Very good.
And we do some live shows, but mostly just this sort of thing.
Yeah,
So
cool.
get around it.
Have you had like a biggest brawl that you've discussed on the pod?
There was a bunch of wrestlers got on a plane
Yeah,
once
okay.
and just started. They nearly put it down, like whacking each other into the door and stuff. And they're big boys, so yeah, that's probably a big one. There's been some really big ones.
Yeah.
Not a lot of all-ins. It's mostly one on two, that sort of thing.
An all in would be pretty.
Yeah, all in
next level.
Amazing.
The pilot's down.
Yeah, imagine that.
That's right.
We're about to finish, Chris. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, go for it. Yeah.
But yeah, fantastic. Very exciting. Where can people go to buy tickets to your respective shows?
LukeHeggie.com.
Yeah, cool.
It's a one-stop shop for everything.
There
I
you
don't
go.
know. Fill out a complaint form while you're there if you want. I've got a complaints tab.
Oh yeah, we were looking at that
did check
this
out
week.
Have you had anything good there?
Well, I've maxed it out. It's on. I can't read them anymore. That's not really the point. I'm not paying. It's on Survey Monkey or something, and I've maxed them out. I've got like over 100
Yeah.
complaints.
You gotta
So
subscribe.
a lot of them are friendly fire. They're quite funny, but yeah, it's just a multi-choice form you can fill out. It's not for me anyway. It's for you
Yeah, fair
to
enough.
get angry.
Very cool. Before we do finish up with everyone that comes on the podcast, we do christen them with a MacPack VIP cap,
Thanks very much.
which comes with the embroidered number. So you're the 30th person that we've
Oh man,
had.
thank you
part
very
of
much.
The VIP pack.
Very nice.
So-
I'll do a merch swap. I've got my
Oh, here we go.
limited signature edition carpenter pencils.
Oh, I love it.
very
Flog it
nice.
off.
Unreal.
I'll give you one each based on your personalities. It's Pooh Brown. Who's that? There you go. Queensland Spirit, Maroon.
Love it.
And Cowardly. I don't know.
Cowardly
Yellow. I don't know. Sorry, it's not cowardly. What else is yellow? I don't know.
The sun.
Yeah.
Happiness.
All right. Well, there it is.
Thank you very much.
Love it. It's been an absolute pleasure, Luke. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks,
on the
lads. Thanks for having me.
Oh yeah. Well, we also end every episode by
We
saying
do.
a catchphase. I say, "Go give your mum a hug," but I want to pass you the torch to say that this week.
Okay,
So Jake will set
I'll,
you
I'll, I'll say all what we say, and then I'll throw to you, and then that's all you got to say.
That's it.
Easy enough.
Yeah.
Stay safe. Until we do this time next week.
Yeah.
Stay safe, stay blessed, and always remember to
Do some fucking work.
Go give your mum a hug.
it's ciao for now, but not forever. Thank you so much for being a part of the pack. If you enjoyed this week's episode, make sure to leave a little comment in the Spotify box below telling us what you liked. Or slide into our DMs. That's right, they're nice and juicy. They're very wet in there. You can slide in, or you can just tell a mate.
Share
just,
it with your mates.
just share it with your mate. You
Share
know,
it with the lads or the girls.
oh yeah, just share it. Just share it around. Tell people that you're enjoying it, and tell people that you like being a part of a community. The pack. Without you guys, we're just Mac, but with you guys, we are the Mac Pack. Thanks, guys.